Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Segovia coming to you live from the man cave. Sick and all y'all, but we're here. We're here with another reaction. I ain't gonna sit here and talk your guys' ears out. We save the chit chat for the end of the video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, you know, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyist or hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down. Whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be, they should be shot down. We are not getting the full deal, and the military is on alert with this.
Ooh, we start shooting them down. Is that is that already an act of war? What is a mothership? Is there just a big ass thing in the middle of the ocean that's just sending them out? I don't know, y'all. It's gonna get interesting. 2025, get that big World War III started before Trump gets in office.
Based on what I believe are a series of facts and data points. I believe it is some foreign adversary doing this. If it's not in New Jersey, it's elsewhere. We know about the China spy balloon, fact. We know about key sources telling us about China buying land around U.S. military facilities, fact. What the hell do you think they're doing this for? They're doing it to surveil the United States in case there's some kind of a world war. So they have an idea of what our critical infrastructure looks like. This isn't hard. You can have whatever theory you want. I'm just telling you, Occam's razor, this is something foreign, not something necessarily exotic, and they know there's nothing we're going to do about it.
That's true. Remember Dr. Phil? We had some clips from him on here going down the rabbit hole on China buying up all the land, a lot of land around our military bases all over the country, buying land over there.
Information that Russia and Russian pipelines are helping bring in some of the resources that are going to support Al-Qaeda's homeland attack. It's
into this country?
Yep, to push at us for Ukraine. Just like we're doing stuff against Russia.
So hold on. So let me get this straight.
Ukraine.
So Russia's sending supplies into the United States to help with the terrorist homeland.
Their pipeline is helping move some of Al-Qaeda's supplies in the United States for their homeland attack.
Which is probably our own fucking supplies because we left everything there.
I don't think people comprehend how big the system is in terms of McDonald's. McDonald's launched a blueberry walnut oatmeal.
I think I've had that back in the day.
That was a limited time offering. It had fresh blueberries in it. And it was supposed to be something like a 5-week run. Dude, 2 weeks in, we blew every blueberry supplier in North America, not just the US, completely dry of blueberries. So just to share with you the scale with which McDonald's operates when it comes to food.
With what you just said right there regarding blueberries, it would seem to me like there's not enough chicken and beef out there to feed what you guys, I mean, seriously.
I see
there's just not enough.
Sunscreens. They even slather sunscreen on their children. In May of 2019, the FDA issued a report saying that sunscreen chemicals, when used just one day, penetrated the bloodstream, reaching levels that exceeded FDA standards. One ingredient, oxybenzone, reached that level, exceeding the standards after only 2 hours of use. This is not good. These chemicals change your complex metabolic machinery, they put a load on your liver and your kidneys, and they make you sick. The more sunscreen we use, the more skin cancer we get. The sales of sunscreens have gone up by 38 times in the last 30 years. Meanwhile, the incidence of the most dangerous kind of skin cancer, melanoma, has doubled since 1982. So what should you do? We all need sun exposure to be healthy. The key is to use the sun sensibly. 30 minutes in the sun twice a week will do you a world of good. And when you're out in the sun for longer, wear a hat, cover your arms and legs. Historically, people in the Mediterranean used olive oil as a sunscreen, and the Polynesians used coconut oil. But they have to be real olive oil, real coconut oil, not the fake stuff you generally find in the store. Supplementing with adequate amounts of beta-carotene and vitamin C and E have been shown to offer protection.
Now, I remember back when I worked for, not LabCorp, but LabCorp's big competitor, Sonora Quest in Arizona. Everywhere else is called Quest Diagnostics. I sat next to in a oncology office, a cancer office, right? I sat next to a lady waiting to get my specimens, and she told me, one piece of advice I can give you, wear sunscreen. That's what she told me. She was in there, I guess, for skin cancer. She told me, wear sunscreen. That's the only advice I'll give you. She told me that. So I don't know, y'all. What do you think? Sunscreen's, now we're hearing is bad for you. I'm from Arizona, so we always had sunscreen. That sunscreen will beat you up out there.
Most Wanted cost $12 million. It made $82 million all in, and they still say they're in the red. See? It's because that's scummy.
Ralph.
They're scum. They lie. And I can tell you why. It's because the marketing budget is X amount of dollars, and that year a Harry Potter came out.
Right.
So they equate the same amount of money to each movie, even though that Harry Potter's getting $50 million and Malibu's getting $5 million in P&A.
Yeah.
But they just put it over there.
I
You understand? So that's it's all this studio accounting bullshit.
As I'm walking back toward the RV, I literally hear God tell me to turn around. As I turn around, I just see orange, and then I hear loud.
You guys ever had that? Your intuition talk to you like that? I've had one incident of that where your boy back in the day when he used to drink, I know is wrong. Sometimes I'd get behind the wheel, right? This day I was off from UPS when I used to work at UPS. I had the day off. Girlfriend, not my girlfriend no more, but at the time, was working literally on the other side of the freeway, right there at the CVS. I drank 2 Mad Dogs MD 2020s, 2 of them. Fell asleep, had my alarm set to wake up to go get her, still tore up. Something in my body told me, in my soul, don't go pick her up. If you do, something bad's going to happen. I don't know what that was. I've drank and drive a lot, multiple times. I know it's bad. I know I don't drink no more. That one time, something told me, don't go pick her up. And it was literally a mile, maybe less than a mile away. And I didn't go. I listened to my gut, told me don't go, stayed home, got an ear beating. But anybody have that?
Fuck.
Looks like these trucks are hauling ass on that ice. That'd be nerve-wracking driving in ice.
Yes, Quincy gave me the address. Yes, baby, I'm telling you too. I have the address.
The address to a tunnel?
Oh, yes. Oprah Winfrey started under Oprah's house. Oprah was just on house arrest recently because she got caught with a 12-year-old. When Oprah was fat and ugly before, when she was trying to get on, that was her selling her soul to agree to participate in the sex trafficking escapade. But since they let her get skinny and attractive and let her get fame, she want to get out of it. But they got too much on her. That's why Oprah says she'll never have kids. It ain't about the fact that she got raped when she was younger and all that, and they made her get the abortion or whatever, or she had the baby and gave her. Whatever the story is about her and the baby when she was young, the real reason why she don't want to have no kids because she's seeing what's going on because she's a participant. And she been on house arrest this whole time. But she got caught with the 12-year-old.
Not with the tunnels.
Oprah. I ain't gonna say allegedly. Sue me, bitch. What up, Gail? I'll give you the exclusive. Holla at me. Sue me. I want them all to sue me.
So, Adria, you also had some things to mention.
What is the thing that keeps you up at night now, or what is your biggest fear now after having overcome so many?
There's such a thing as knowing too much. And when you've been married to the president of the United States who knows everything about everything in the world, sometimes you just want to turn it off.
You know too much.
Right. It's like, I don't want to know what was in that folder that you just got that made you quiet. You know, I don't want to know why the security just pulled you over. I mean, it could be any range of things that comes across the desk of the leader of the free world, right? So I know a lot about what's going on, and what keeps me up are the things that I know. The war in the region, in too many regions. What is AI going to do for us? The environment, you know, are we moving at all fast enough? What are we doing about education? Are people going to vote? And why aren't people voting? Are we too stuck to our phones? I mean, those are the things that keep me up, because you don't have control over them.
No shit. He could get as many degrees as he want, but it's just like trying to get all the degrees you want, but you still got a ceiling. He can't go but so high, because the people that he worshiping, that he kissing their ass and letting them fill him up and shit, they don't know shit. Best. Secret Society with Jay-Z, man. He's involved, but he's involved with this shit, man.
Is it just a coincidence?
Where are his celebrity peers saying, oh my God? Everybody's quiet. Why?
This is despite the fact that for years, nearly everyone wanted to make it onto P. Diddy's guest list.
The people at the party, Puff at that time had a room, Missy Elliott had a room, dum, 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 you know what I'm saying? Dum, 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 dum. And standing on the wall, nobody knew who he was. Guess who it was? It was Jay-Z.
Rumor has it that the rapper personally handpicked who got invited.
Who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's probably easier to say who wasn't there. His parties have welcomed stars like Paris Hilton, Mariah Carey, Drake, LeBron James, and countless others. Diddy's friend Ashton Kutcher visited his place, but these days, he's pretty tight-lipped about it, despite having hosted one of the white parties.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
What is it that everyone seems so afraid to talk about?
Kubrick was such an odd one. Like, his films are so different. And he was a weird guy, too. He did, like, complex mathematics in his spare time.
I do complex mathematics in my spare time. Nothing wrong with that. No, yeah, he's a weird guy, but he was also, I think, thinking 3 steps ahead of everybody at any kind of given moment. I mean, to be honest, I was just thinking, I just pulled my script from Eyes Wide Shut. I had a script that was from set, and I was reading it over the weekend, and I saw that it has this, I mean, I've known this for a long time, but I started really thinking about it over the weekend. It's missing a narration. It's missing a third-person narration that was originally in the movie. And that's because the movie was recut and changed after his death. And they will deny it. But as a student of Kubrick, I'm watching the movie and I'm like, well, Kubrick wouldn't do that. Kubrick wouldn't do that either. And Kubrick would have trimmed this scene.
I didn't know they recut it after his death.
Okay, so apparently
I think they finished it.
Well, that's the party line.
That's their version,
that's the party line. But I think that they changed the notes, the close-ups, the inserts of the notes. I think those are changed. It's missing a narration. It's definitely missing a narration. A third-person narration, like that scene where he sees the prostitute who's died. He's at the morgue and he's looking at her and he's like leaning over her. It's a bed for narration. There's this whole thing. What they do instead, because they couldn't say that Kubrick finished the movie because they hadn't done the recording of the narrator yet. And so maybe they just kind of kludged it together, except there's an entire thread that's kind of been squashed in that film, and that's the 2 men that are throughout the movie that are constantly in the background of the film, who eventually in the final shots of the film you see, like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman in that final scene in the toy store when she's looking at the Rosemary's Baby bassinet, which is totally Kubrick saying something, and they never take their eyes off their daughter until the moment they take their eyes off and the final line of the movie is coming up. You see those 2 guys walking off with the daughter. They're taking her away. They've given their daughter to the pedo cult. That's what's happened at the end of the movie. And there's an incident where when they first screened the movie in England, people who were outside, this is all secondhand, by the way. There were people who were outside of the theater who could hear inside of the theater Kubrick yelling at all the executives and saying, "It's my movie, you can't cut it. You can't fucking cut my film, blah, 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 blah." Big argument going on. Then he dies like 4 days later.
Oh, Jesus.
So somebody went in and finished the movie, but I think when they finished the movie, they hid the film. The movie got changed into something else.
Huge sections
I still haven't seen that movie. I need to watch it, y'all. Y'all recommend it?
of the wall on an Arizona highway leaving the border to be sold as scrap for pennies on the dollar.
Unbelievable.
It's going to one of 3 locations in Arizona where President Biden is selling hundreds of tons of state-of-the-art steel wall taxpayers already paid billions for and ready to go in the ground when Trump takes office. According to the auction website, the government is taking bids starting at $5 each for each lot of 40,000 pounds of welded steel and concrete, fence, roughly 150 steel beams. Border Patrol agent Art Del Cueto inspected the bollards and said there was nothing wrong with the panels.
Unbelievable.
$5.
I mean, honestly, that's just a slap in the face, not just to the agents that are out there working, to the American public as a whole. They could have just left these panels alone. Well, last year, the government sold more than 700 of the 30-foot steel segments for roughly $200 a piece, meaning taxpayers took a loss of about 10 grand for each one. President Trump installed 455 miles of steel fencing. An additional 250 miles was under construction when President Biden...
Y'all, I'm not even kidding. I'm getting a horrific vibe from this video right here. It's like you can feel it piercing your soul coming from the screen. Am I the only person? Because something about this feels so bad. Those who can catch what I'm throwing down will understand exactly what I'm saying. In TikTok, I did not say one word. And then again, right here, a terrific vibe, a really bad energy
the horns
straight through. By the way, the placement of the letters. Again, just showing you things, that's all. And right here, not related at all, not even a little bit. This guy has came through and donated $1 million to the person that I just showed you. Again, completely unrelated. And that bell right there, I counted it, it went off 51 times. You know, 51 in Gematria is lamb. Do you want to know what else is lamb? The demon that Aleister Crowley summoned that looks exactly like a gray. I'm so done.
Like the movie Signs, y'all. This is legit, but that's
this
scary.
exact thing made me a flat earther. I was on a plane that needed to do an emergency landing. So I was taking a flight from Portugal to New York City. So Portugal is right about here. New York City would be right about here. A guy on our plane had a medical emergency. We had to make an emergency landing. On the back of every seat, they had these screens where you could watch the little airplane like as it's flying. So we're like right about here at this point. And when they announced the emergency landing, they did like a sharp turn and went all the way up here to St. John's in Canada, and everybody was like, why are we doing that? Like, that's going to take so much longer. Like, he needs help, because they thought he had like a stroke or something. The way it looked on the screen, you would have thought it was like a 90-degree angle, but the plane didn't turn at all. I started researching how or like why this was. I stumbled upon a flat earth map. Portugal is about right here. St. John's is right here. And I realized that's why it just showed like a 90-degree angle turn, and the plane didn't turn at all. And then I started looking at other emergency flight landing paths. That is the fastest way to become a flat earther, is just looking at emergency flight paths. There is not one that makes sense on the globe and there's not one that doesn't make sense on the flat earth map. Also, if you guys didn't know, submarines use sonar that's based on flat earth, and pilot training manuals explicitly say to treat the earth as if it's a stationary flat plane. This is satire for entertainment only.
Jay-Z is facing calls to confirm the paternity of his illegitimate son in another legal blow to the rapper. Rymir Satterthwaite has been in a decade-long fight to prove that Jay-Z, real name Sean Carter, is his biological father. Satterthwaite now claims Carter's legal team acted fraudulently during previous attempts for him to take a paternity test. His mother, Wanda, died in 2019 and alleged that she and Carter conceived Rymir when she was 16 in 1992. Jay-Z would have been 22 at the time. According to Satterthwaite, Jay-Z has never written to him to deny or
People's bullshit. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid shit. So whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumbass stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff. But you know that one, it was your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad. This song is called Bulletproof.
Okay, Will Smith, he's on a whole nother level than P. Diddy and Jay-Z. Will Smith is A-list in Hollywood, A-list, not in hip-hop, in Hollywood. He was on that other island, y'all. He was either on that other island or him and Jada were doing their own thing. They had their own parties. Or he was on the Epstein list where they all got a get out of jail free card.
I think Jay-Z's tone was exactly, but see, I saw Puppy say the same shit, and then a video came out. Yeah. I didn't go to none of those parties. No, it never appealed to me. I'm not saying that everybody who did go was wrong, but I'm glad I ain't got a lawyer asking me to get my story together. I'm glad I get it. I just look here, man. When a motherfucker calls himself Diddy, I can't fuck with him. This is not my thing.
I'm gonna show you a real NFL contract and how it works. He gets a $9.9 million signing bonus, and he gets $750,000, which is the league minimum. $10.7 million he's getting, but now he got to pay Uncle Sam. Federal taxes are $4 million. Then state taxes in Michigan are almost $700,000, and then he's got to pay something called the jock tax. Anybody know what that is? If you're an NFL player, pro athlete, whatever, you have to pay taxes in every single state you play. So you play for the Dallas Cowboys that has no state income tax, great. Like Will Levis plays in Nashville, right? Tennessee has no state tax. That number's 0. But then when you go play in California, guess what happens? You pay tax in that state. You've gone from $10.7 to $5.8 million. So half your money is gone and you have not spent $1. And guess who doesn't know that? The people asking you for money. All they see is in the paper, you get $10.7 million. I saw the NIL deal, you get $300,000. Give me some of that. Give me $100,000. Got $200,000 left. And if you don't know no better, yeah, okay, cool. All right, yeah, I got you, Mom. You raised me. Here's $100,000. I got $200,000 left. Uncle Sam goes, all right, but I need $150,000 of that. You only have $150,000. You gave 9% of your money to your mom. You didn't know. It's about putting a plan in place. If you know this going in, you can do everything you want to do if you plan. If you don't, you're playing catch up. We can simplify all this stuff. That's our goal. Everybody has different responsibilities. Our goal is to make sure whatever yours are, we help you navigate it.
Oh my. That's pretty cool. They got financial advisors in there now. What trips me out is when you're doing like HR at work, right? Sit down, sit with the HR. They have an orientation before you get hired. Why don't they have somebody come out and say, hey, your 401k, we match it. I suggest you put it into the market. Instead of just a money market account getting 3%, put it into S&P 500, whatever we use, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, their S&P 500. There's no fees. 30-year return, average 10%. Instead of retiring with 150, 200,000, you're going to retire with $3 to $5 to $6 million. But it's crazy they don't do that, y'all, because they want you stuck to the machine. You start doing that and all employees start doing that. And guess what? The next generation of employees, They ain't gonna have to do all that type of work.
My God, please watch this video, y'all. This is Aaliyah Carter. She claims to be a victim of P. Diddy and many other A-list celebrities. She also says those parties were more deeper than just freak-offs. They were involving other entities, if you know what I'm talking about. And I think she's telling the truth. This is why. We all remember the Run This Town video by Kanye, Rihanna, and Jay-Z, right? The whole video is basically taking place in a tunnel or underground or some type of crazy ruins or something. Who does that look like right there with the hair? Maybe I'm reaching, right? Okay, what about here? Am I still reaching? Okay. What about here? I don't think this is deniable, bro. That is very clearly Aaliyah Carter, and even if you don't want to say that, that resembles her very much. Now, a mask can really change somebody's whole face. I understand that, but this is crazy, bro. Look at her here, and look at this person. I don't know, bro. If she was in that video, there could be validity to what she was saying. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Where is LeBron James? He is currently away from basketball right now due to personal reasons, and this will make it at least 8 days without him playing a game of basketball, and this got the whole internet making up conspiracies about where he is and what happened to him. Even Stephen A. Smith is chiming in on it.
LeBron James said personal reasons. Did you really think he was going to get past that? I need that answer. But in the past times, they would say rest. They said personal reasons. Now I'm going to ask you one more time. They said personal reasons. What's going on with LeBron James?
It's not crazy to miss a game of basketball due to personal reasons, but it's also hard to ignore what's been going on in the news lately, especially with P. Diddy and a lot of other celebrities are getting name dropped. I mean, LeBron has been getting hounded by people for his prior love to P. Diddy parties.
Bron, we know you was at them Diddy parties. We know you was there. We know you was at them Diddy parties.
I mean, just this week, Colby Covington called him out on a live interview.
Ask LeBron, what does he mean by there's no party like a Diddy party? I truly want to know. And not only that, LeBron, how many Diddy parties have you actually been to?
I'm not saying this is the reason why he's missing basketball, but it's interesting to think about, and I'm curious to know what you guys think.
Might have been his lawyer, like D.L. Hewley said. That lawyer might have said it's about time to get that story straight. They're coming.
Do you think it's possible to completely vanish?
I don't think so.
Well, watch this. On the Pacific Coast Highway in California, a dash cam caught footage of a car crossing lanes and flying straight off a cliff at like 60 miles an hour. They searched the waters by boat, by helicopter, and eventually had to just call it off because the car completely disappeared. They couldn't find any proof that it was ever even there. The only proof was the dash cam footage, and people thought that it might have been doctored. It happened in 2020 of December, but it wasn't until like January or February of the next year. I mean, not that long, but it took a while for someone to come out and be like, no, I actually saw that. They just have no clue where it is though. They ended up having to call off the search. And if you see the footage, like, it's odd because there's like no reason for the car to be crossing the direction that it did over the lanes, and it just goes straight off the cliff, never to be seen again. No one has come out and said like, oh yeah, I have a friend or family who knows that car.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if it even happened.
Also, it's like, it was in 2020, so I feel like that would have been way bigger news had other stuff not been happening. Someone surely had to have known this person.
Did you hear China putting 90 vessels around Taiwan? I bet you didn't hear that. But China's not playing games anymore. Some of our biggest aircraft carriers, which are destroyers, which are part of our fleet, is now going over to an area where China just put out 90 of its own vessels surrounding Taiwan. So we don't even talk about that great swan. We're not even talking about the Russia-Ukraine situation. And Ukraine, I mean, again, Zelensky just said yesterday after a meeting with Trump that he doesn't think Trump has the right plan for peace. So he doesn't accept it. So a man who is wanting to escalate a war still, and NATO really backing him. There's a lot of crises happening.
Dude, what is going on in the world right now? Recently, Jeffrey Epstein's private banker was just found hanging from his neck, and they are declared. 4 days ago, New Jersey federal judge Esther Salas was just assigned the Jeffrey Epstein case. Today, a man disguised as a FedEx worker showed up to her house, shot and killed her son, and shot and injured her husband. But wait, there's more! The said killer, who was disguised as a FedEx worker, who shot and killed her son and injured her husband, has now turned up dead, and it was made to look like he shot himself.
Remember that? The FedEx killed the judge's son or whatever? Dang, I forgot all about that.
I was thoroughly convinced the writers of The Simpsons were the ones who were planning how 2020 was going down, but now I'm convinced that it's Christopher Nolan, because I'm wondering, where's Batman and when's he gonna show up to save the day? Because we're literally living out the plotline of The Dark Knight in real life.
Senator, is your head okay after that fall? Senator?
Y'all, is that fake? Now that I see it, because I was like, there's no way they're gonna put this guy out there. Is this legit or is this like AI with the bandage? 'Cause I see the bandage moving now. It is fake. They got me. They got me. But still, he's got to go.
50 came up here and he was giving you flack for the asking Fab to party. So he'll ask you. Oh, he'll ask you to play the clip, man.
Yeah, play the clip. Go ahead.
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying?
I asked 50 about that. And he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy.
Yo, why are you and 50?
Hey, yo.
Why y'all not?
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with
I don't know why.
With Fifth. He loves me. He loves me.
Y'all
can't
really have
see
a
it?
beef?
I mean, y'all can't see it.
No, we can't see
Y'all
it.
can't see that he loves me?
See,
you really, hold on, you really think that's hate? When you really break it down, you've been out here a long time. You know he loves me.
I don't think he like it.
You know he loves me.
I don't think he like it.
Okay.
But why not? Y'all both passionate. Y'all both
I don't know. Yo, check this out. I don't know.
Like
I don't.
Both the same.
Now, I've seen him and Diddy in the same room. We got to find those clips of him and Diddy in the same room. Diddy's the boss, y'all. I know 50 talks all this stuff. I was the biggest 50 Cent fan growing up. I had all the mixtapes, all of them. All those junior radios on LimeWire, I had them all. Still got them. But when they're in the room together, Diddy's very aggressive with them. Like, you see how, we'll rewind it a little bit, and you can see, like, he loves me. Like, the way he's talking, like, that's what threw me off, like, in the past. Like, because I would see 50's talking all this crap about Diddy, making diss songs and whatnot. But when there's clips of them in the same room, 50 Cent really, like, bows down. And when I see 50 Cent's interviews, he's very feminine with his hand gestures and the way he talks. And I don't know, but let's rewind it a little bit. We're going to find some of those clips, y'all, because there's Jaguar's got some stuff on 50 Cent. Let's see.
See it? I mean, y'all can't see it.
No, we can't
Y'all
see
can't
it.
see that he loves me?
See,
you really, hold on, you really think that's hate? When you really break it down, you've been out here a long time. You know he loves me.
I don't think he like it.
You know he loves me.
I don't think he like it.
Okay.
But why not? Y'all both passionate. Y'all both
I don't know. Yo, check this out. I don't know.
Like
I don't.
both the same.
No, we are not.
Okay.
We are not the same.
But, I mean,
we are
as
not
far as
cut
the way
from the
you
same
guys
cloth.
work hard.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I respect that. I don't never hit him with no, you know, nothing. I don't even think of no other man. Besides, if I'm thinking about another man, I'm thinking about uplifting.
In 2015, Jim Bristol was putting in a drain system on his land in Chelsea, Michigan, when he made an extraordinary discovery. Incredibly, what Jim had discovered was the skeleton of a woolly mammoth. This huge male specimen is believed to be around 15,000 years old. An excavation pit of approximately 10 feet was made to carefully extract the skeleton. Remarkably, paleontologists were able to recover about 20% of the animal's bones.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Because I know people personally who were approached multiple times and offered a substantial amount of money to post things in support of Harris.
May I introduce a man that I've respected ever since the beginning of my career, Mr. Robert De Niro.
Seems like something you should absolutely have to disclose.
Election day is basically here, and it ain't over till it's over, and we all know that. It ain't over till it's over.
Say if I was going to do an ad for Black Rifle Coffee, and I did it on my Instagram, I'd have to say ad. I have to say this is an ad. I mean, that's part of the thing. Unless it's your company, you're supposed to say they're paying me to do this.
You know how you know God made water, not science? Water is the only thing in the universe. You know the recipe, and you can't make none. Say it one more time, Cat, for the people in the back. Uh-huh. For anything else, if you want to make it, you just need the recipe. And as soon as you get it, you can make you some. Not this, though. God made this. And we all know the recipe. H to the 2 to the O. If you put an H and an O together by yourself, you just have a hoe. And you can lead a hoe to water, but she ain't gonna make none.
Do you have No, I had to blur out. Hopefully it lets me put that up because I've tried putting up some comedy clips of people talking deep and it copyrights me. So I'll put a big old blur over if you guys wonder. That was Cat Williams' stand-up. I don't know which one it was, but one of his more recent ones. You guys just got the audio.
Any idea how many nuclear weapons we have? How many?
On ready for launch status, meaning they're forward deployed, meaning they can be launched in seconds or minutes from the president's order. Seconds or minutes. We have 1,770. The numbers change a little bit every year. Russia has 1,674. That says nothing about the thousands more in storage that we have ready to, that could be pulled out. So we have approximately 5,000 each. Why do we need that many nuclear weapons? You must be asking yourself.
We need that many because they have that many, and they need that many because we have that many.
Guess what the number was at the all-time high, which was in 1986?
10,000.
70,000.
70,000? Wow.
How America sort of had this insane buildup of nuclear weapons during the 1950s. There was one point in 1957, and the military-industrial complex just went ba-ba-ba-boom.
Nancy Pelosi's connections to the United Healthcare CEO case have gotten even deeper. It's not just about stock trading anymore. The Pelosi family and the Mangione family have long-standing family ties that go back over 50 years. This is Nancy Pelosi's father, Thomas D'Alessandro Jr., and he was the mayor of Baltimore from 1947 to 1959. And he was friends with Luigi Mangione's grandfather, Nicholas Mangione. Nicholas Mangione was a businessman and he had many different businesses across Maryland. In 1989, the Washington Post wrote an article about a controversy over a turf war dealing with the family, and Nancy Pelosi's dad commented on his behalf. J. Alessandro III, a former mayor of Baltimore, said those who criticize Mangione don't understand what drives him. Quote, if he seems impatient sometimes, Del Alessandro said, quote, it's only because he wants the very best for his business, the very best for his family. How could these family ties be brought to present day? Well, don't forget when the United Healthcare Company was hacked, Nancy Pelosi bought $250,000 in Palo Alto security. Palo Alto won the contract to investigate why United Healthcare was hacked, costing United Healthcare $2.3 billion, causing their stock price to go way up, making Nancy Pelosi money. Let's not forget that whoever the hacker was got paid $22 million because United Healthcare paid them that ransom. So the question now is, could this individual who was valedictorian of his high school class, Ivy League educated in AI, and fell off the map 6 months ago when this cyber attack took place, be the one behind the cyber attack? Now, there's no doubt that this is a very, very interesting connection, but it still doesn't explain how he grew a unibrow in 5 days. Luigi, entering court today, was shouting at reporters saying this is completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people. This is all becoming increasingly more complex, and I'm stuck now wondering what really is going on. What do you think is going on? As always, let me know down below.
In the US right now, everyone's appearing to get sick and everyone's saying they're foggy headed, but even that it's foggy outside. It's weird. I'm gonna tell you how to fix it, and it's not going where you think. And yes, this is related, and the sky is blue for a reason. Before I start, I'll say two different things. One, the sun has been missing here in South Carolina 90% of the time. And two, your intuition is a lot smarter than you give it credit for. There's a whole lot of things that you just instinctively know without having to look it up. When you do look it up, you can say, why is it like this instead of is this this? The reason there's woods behind me is because if you go stand in the woods, you're going to get a ton of oxygen. And all that oxygen, believe it or not, will heal you much faster than anything else.
I've been feeling sick, y'all. Y'all know I'm sick right now. Today's the worst I've felt since I started feeling bad a few days ago. But it's been cloudy out here. I don't think I'm going to tomorrow for sure, but because it's late, if you can't notice, the lights are on my face. Whenever you see that, that means this is last minute. But I just told my lady before we did what we're going to do, I'll get into it at the end of the video, but I want to get out there and hike. I feel like that's the only thing that's going to get me better, just like he's saying. Like, my intuition's telling me that. You say your intuition will tell you, but that's seriously how I felt. Like, I want to wear a sweater because the sun's out finally. It's warm. So put a plastic bag over me, a garbage bag, put my sweater over that, and just go out there and sweat. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. But it's crazy that he says your intuition will tell you what to do. And I've been telling her, like, I need to get out there and hike to get to feel better, because I ain't going to feel better in this house.
So in my new house, when I go to the back porch, it's noticeably colder outside. It's all trees, so it's all oxygen. So back to the intuition I was talking about, I knew it was colder, but why? Because its boiling point of oxygen is extremely low. But what does solid oxygen look like? It turns blue. What else is blue? And where is the bluest stuff in the world? That icy place. Why? And above the firmament that was over their head with the likeness of a throne and appearance of a sapphire stone. A sapphire stone. And they come in all different colors. So is it possible that there's quite literally concentrated oxygen right above us? And quite possibly solid? That F word right there. Anyways, for all the sick people, go stand in the forest. And yes, it will help, just like hyperbaric oxygen chambers help you get quicker faster. The more you know.
I put 20, you put 20, I buy the whole stack for 30, and we both made a $10 profit.
I will be honest with you, I really did not want to make this video because I probably am going to sound like a complete idiot, but if someone can really figure out this math, please let me know. Because I tried. I tried for about half an hour. I'm usually pretty good at all this stuff, but the math doesn't... It's doing things that I don't know what it's doing, and I'm scared. Because if it's doing that, that means it's possible to actually do somehow. Because and 20 and 20 and 30. In total, it's 70. But I can't figure out how this works.
I can't either, y'all.
So I need one of you really smart math people to explain to me exactly how this happens. Because otherwise, I'm going around to all of my friends and I'm doing this. I'm doing this today. My brain hurts.
Sorry, sir. There's a strict 800 limit. If I let you in, the fire marshal will be all over my back.
But the fire marshal's on that guy's back.
Yeah, but he'll get off his back and on my back. It's a great party.
Why don't you just use Babs and Carter's? I can't. They're having an eyes wide shut party all weekend.
I can't find my wiener with this mask. All right, time out. Let's all just find our wieners and then put the masks back on.
Motherfuckers be in Hollywood you never fucking expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited as a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit.
He's been exposing it, y'all. And look what they did to him. They made him look like he's the most psycho person out there. Remember that?
Activity out straight ahead of us.
No, we're not seeing anything. I had another one report at like 30,000 feet in the Eugene area.
We're not sure what it is.
Yeah, there's lots moving out there. We're seeing 3 or 4 targets. You know, they're all altitudes, up and down. It's pretty crazy. There's one way up high and one about my altitude, moving in like a circle, like a corkscrew pattern. Visually, I have eyes on what looks like an aircraft strobe that's at my 2 o'clock and...
Have you ever wondered, why does New York City have 2 completely different layouts? This is Houston Street, and above this street it's all clean grid, where streets are numbered from 1st to 220th, and avenues run neatly from 1st to 12th. But below Houston Street, it feels like stepping into a different world entirely. Streets have names like Canal Street and Battery Place, winding with twist and turn without any clear grid pattern. You might think it might be difficult to navigate this southern part, yet surprisingly, many New Yorkers prefer this area's design over the grid system found up north. But why? And what could possibly be the reason for such different layouts? The grid layout on the northern part was carefully planned later by Americans to create an organized look designed to resemble other U.S. cities. But the southern part with winding streets is more loved by New Yorkers because it was actually built by European settlers in the 16th and 17th hundreds. That gives it a charming and historic feel.
Okay, I just want to process everything you're telling me about Aaliyah. So you're telling me that when she was 14 years old, she came out with her debut album and she was already rumored to be in a relationship with R. Kelly, and he was 27. And you're telling me that when she was 15 years old, they were secretly married. He was 28. But then her parents found out and they made her get it annulled, and then they also said she had to cut ties with him professionally. So then her music career blows up, everybody loves her music, and she's caught the eye of 2 guys. Those 2 guys being Jay-Z and Dame Dash. And you're telling me that she wasn't interested in Jay-Z and she turned him down. And then she went on to have a relationship with Dame Dash. And we all know this ends tragically for Aaliyah. But you're telling me Jay-Z has something to do with it. You're telling me Aaliyah didn't even want to get on this plane because she was afraid of flying. And you're telling me that this video could have been shot in Miami, but they made her go to the Bahamas. And you're telling me he did all of this to get Aaliyah out and hype up Beyonce.
Like, tell me that's not the most insecure man ever. Like, to a whole nother extent. That's some insecure, I can't have her, so no one's gonna have her. I'm gonna do this, she's gonna get on this plane. And the Beyonce, who was nobody at that time, not like Aaliyah. Aaliyah was that one. She takes over. Coincidence?
That's what you're telling me.
That's crazy,
For
y'all.
Israel.
Big
America
poop in my
is Israel's
ass.
largest donor, providing $3.8 billion a year in military aid, which is equivalent to 580 billion yen for Japan. Why does America support Israel? In America, there are many Jews at the top of banks and large corporations, and they are a presence that cannot be ignored. In the first place, there are many Jews living in America. Why does America support Israel? It's a really long ranking. Mark Zuckerberg Facebook, which is the current Meta, and then the Rally page, which is Google. So 6 of the top 10 people in the unconventional ranking are Jewish. There are quite a lot of Jews in America who are active in the fields of politics and economics, and there are also organizations that have a great deal of influence, such as Jewish lobbying organizations. And lobbying organizations are basically the next lobbying organization. So it means that they negotiate very
So Rock Nation, man, they just did some funny shit. They sent me an offer, but then they had no money attached to it. You're gonna deliver these projects under these terms, 10% 360, 15K discretionary fund, that's yours. And I went to the office, and like, what you think? What you gonna do? And I'm like, bruh, it's only 15K. Like, oh, no, this ain't it. He makes a call. He's like, yo, it ain't no numbers on the offer. They sent a new offer. The new offer was much larger, but by that time I was turned off. If I would have signed this 15K, would you have told me you made a mistake? You made a $750,000 mistake? I don't want to do business with niggas who make mistakes that big, and if that's how you doing business, it's a little bit predatory. I'm not signing nowhere where another nigga is getting fucked over already.
You want to be the president of the United States? You call your man. Call MTV. We're going to give you a platform. We're going to give you a way to speak because you on to something, kid. Well, you on to something. You making sense to me. You got me. I am franchised. I'm not disenfranchised no more. And we're going to keep it nonpartisan, but we got to applaud when somebody's making sense because we've been all around, all over, speaking to politicians, and this is what we call real talk. This is what peace. Now y'all understand why we vote. We're going to edit everybody else ass out and just run his Yeah, there you go.
Y'all. Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Dan.
for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
Since we applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
T-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
The guy's good.
He single-handedly got Obama in the office. Diddy was everywhere. He was everywhere on every station, all the rappers at every... Because back then in 2008, y'all, you guys gotta remember, all my youngsters out here that grew up on this, we didn't have this. We had MySpace back then. And MySpace wasn't like TikTok is. You know, we didn't have these things. So he single-handedly got Obama in there. It's crazy.
And he said, Dad, guess which is it? Is it NBA or NFL? 36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have directly or indirectly been bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71, I repeat, 71 cannot get a credit card due to their bad credit. 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits, and 84 have been arrested for drunk driving in the last year. How many of you think NBA? How many of you think NFL? Well, the answer is neither. It's the 435 members of the United States Congress.
A lot of our prisons are private companies. CoreCivic and Geo Group. These are the largest private prison companies. CoreCivic has already built deportation facilities in Texas. I'm sure Trump is going to use CoreCivic's already built infrastructure of understanding how to house deportees to build a lot of this stuff. And this is why the idea of quotas is real. So these prisons, they're private companies. They're all about making profits for their shareholders. It costs them X amount of money per prisoner. They also have X amount of prisoners that need to be in the prisons or they don't make profit. So guess what happens if this year they're about 200 prisoners short? They have to report back to their shareholders, we're taking a loss this year. The shareholders might say, that prison ain't making no money, just shut it down, because they're obligated to their shareholders, not the state. So then they tell the state, our shareholders are thinking about shutting down the facility because we're not making enough profits. And we were about 200 prisoners short this year. So the state only has 2 choices. Either you're going to have to tax your citizens more and build your own new prison, or you need to find an extra 200 prisoners thrown in jail. So then what you do is you start emphasizing we need to put more people in jail because we can't afford to lose our prisons. And so this is the same thing that's going to happen with these deportees. These private companies are going to say, unfortunately, guys, we might have to shut this deportation facility down unless we get a couple thousand more deportees. Wow, magically, some reason this year we found a couple thousand more deportees. Wow. And this is just going to continue on.
Now I'm right here next to a deportee asylum, I guess you can say, asylum. And at the baby shower we just had last weekend, there was a couple people here that works there at the spot right here by where my house is. Literally, I can walk there. And I was asking her, like, are they in like dormitories, like with bunk beds and stuff? She's like, no, they're all in individual cells in there, like it's a prison. So that's how they got them locked up. And then my girl's sister, her daughter works at where they keep like kids and stuff, and well, they keep like infants all the way up to like 18-year-olds, over like 25-year-olds, all in the same spot. And she was telling me there's some crazy things they're selling, R-wording them, impregnating, getting rid of the bait. Like, she told me some crazy things, because these videos I was asking her these type of questions, and because she's into that stuff too, my girlfriend's sister, and they're doing some crazy things out here with these immigrants, y'all. I can't really go too deep into it, but a lot of these things we see on these TikToks, the missing and unaccounted for, they're selling them, y'all.
Out of the 4 we knew of in 1963, we have a relationship with at least 2 of them. And they've made it very clear that we are being evaluated as what you might call a third world country. We were being evaluated for possible membership in a galactic federation. They are members of a vast federation of planets, different star systems, even from different galaxies, and that we are being evaluated and nurtured and encouraged to grow up a little bit, dispense with our nuclear weapons and dispense with our traditional war-making processes.
Well, that hasn't really changed. We haven't stopped with our war-making.
Well, that's what's so sad about it.
It's tragic.
That was the beginning for me. But over the years, the more I...
But if I gotta pay for the commercials, hit me with the bill. I got it. But check this out, yo. When I was a kid, I saw these images that were setting me up for failure. These images that was making me feel like less than a dog. You feel me? And I just was like, man, I ain't with that. I'm not with that. And I know I had to work hard. I know I had to get in that savage mode. I know I couldn't be out smoking the blunt, drinking, even though I do smoke right now. But right then, but I had to get focused, man. I had to get locked in because it's important. Life is important, and we ain't here just for ourselves. We're here for our ancestors. You feel me? And so God put this message on my heart to give to you and you and you and you. The time is now. And the time is right now. Not 2 seconds from now, right now. This dream of black people being free. I got this dream of us controlling our own destiny. I got this dream of us taking accountability and to stop killing each other. I got this dream of us being rich and wealthy and living on the same block.
Now, I told you guys before, I got to find the clip and do the reaction on my second channel, link below. Go subscribe over there. But there's a video of somebody saying they had a secret meeting where they were going to do all these unions and healthcare and like retirement things for rappers, right? Jermaine Dupri, Suge Knight, Dame Dash, the dude, Jay Prince, all the big dogs in the hip hop industry, the CEOs, right? Jay-Z, P. Diddy. Those two went and told the Lear Cohens and all the big dogs, the other people, what was going on. They shut that meeting down, and all those other CEOs you never hear from, they're in and out, broke, got money, broke. Jay-Z and P. Diddy took off, y'all. So all this crap he's talking right there, lying through his teeth, y'all.
Check this out, y'all. What you're looking at over here are the graveyards in Saudi Arabia. If you didn't know, it's been raining heavily in Saudi Arabia. Not just that, but they just got some hail, and it did like a little hail sand tsunami. And now this is what the graveyards are looking like. As you can see, there's holes all over the gravesite, right? It looks like the bodies are coming up out of the ground. Those are different looking tombstones. I don't know what those are, but do y'all see that, y'all? Like, it's so much water. They experience so much water that is literally lifting the body. If this doesn't show you that the world is changing, I don't know what to tell you. And I think what they're doing is they're basically paying respects because, who wants this type of stuff to happen, to their loved ones, to their ancestors? You know what I'm saying? So this is what's going on in Saudi Arabia. Y'all see what's going on. I've been posting a lot about Saudi Arabia. There's a lot going on over there that you guys are not aware of. You know what I'm saying? Because this type of stuff is not supposed to be happening. Well, the change is here. The shift is here. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace in.
The lower it goes, the stones just get massive to support this weight. Look at the weight that would be on top of this. Just one block like that, a cubic meter weighs about 6,000 pounds. So we're looking at about at least a 10, 11, 12,000 pound stone, depending how deep it goes. And that's just one. And they all have to be hoisted into place at a time. 1881 to 1883, it supposedly was horse and wagon. And nothing else. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Anybody who takes a little critical thinking skills on and just considers the level of construction on this, and also you can see these air conditioners in the buildings now. Obviously at that time it wasn't needed. Was that because they didn't have it, or was that because a different technology was used?
There's a secret government with its own Air Force, its own Navy, that's above the law and free from the law itself. The CIA director says, yeah, I know this is real. Why is it this level of secrecy? Who's keeping it secret? How are they doing this? How do I take on a group that have technologies that can do circles around the B-2 stealth? The worst treasonous acts that have ever happened to any country that falls is from within. The president, the director of the CIA, they had all been pushed aside and denied access. What's behind the secrecy? So let's say you have something that would fit on a little table this big, and it's pulling energy out of what's called the quantum vacuum, which was proven to exist back in the 50s. If you had a coffee mug, the amount of space in that coffee mug has enough potential power to boil off all the oceans of the world. That was mastered decades ago. That means that every home, business, car, manufacturing, village in Africa that would generate all the energy they need for all the needs that we have for a modern civilization. If that technology were to be disclosed, it's $1 quadrillion in proven assets, oil, gas, coal, that are obsolete. That's what they're protecting.
What's interesting is when you look at the moon, those craters are never in any particular angle. In other words, if I'm free floating through space and I've got things coming at me, it would hit an angle and then make a track until it comes to a point where it stops, and then it would create a crater. All these things are straight down, perfectly straight down. There's nothing that slid and moved into a particular angle to create an implosion. It's all an explosion. It looks like all implosions, like what you're talking about. You have these craters that seem to be all almost the same depth. How is that even possible?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so I went to usgs.gov and I downloaded some ground penetrating images, and guess what we found out? Underneath the surface of the moon, there appears to be some gigantic, what we can only assume might be metallic or beam-like structures 30 meters beneath the surface. So is it that they only stop there because that's as far as you can go? I mean, we don't know. But what's interesting is they all seem to almost have the same depth, and there doesn't seem to be much debris around the rim. Where did all that debris go? There's enough gravity to pull it back down, but it just seems to be gone. So what are those?
I got a lot of messages from y'all saying he got cooked on a debate. I've heard about it. I haven't watched none of it. But maybe on the second channel we can, find some 15-20 minute clips of that debate and, see what happened, y'all.
Nobody is paying attention to the fact that Justin Bieber was discovered on YouTube. You're my God and my father. By Usher.
The relationship has been good, man. It's been good for you? Oh, great. Has it been all that I promised? Oh. And then some, right?
Then given to the diddler.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
That's grooming.
Yeah, the keys is yours. When you get 16, you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Then, when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. They watched him here on YouTube. They followed him here on YouTube. They wait till he hit peak popularity.
One time, when I met you, come on. Wow.
And then here comes Usher.
I ain't gonna stop you like that, but this is only a tease. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you.
And then he takes him to the diddler. Sick. Is that not grooming?
It's 100% is grooming.
Especially considering that Usher already knew what Diddy was capable of because of everything that Diddy did to him.
I had become love.
Puffy Flavor Camp.
You feel like that took away from your childhood at all?
This was just from a few hours ago, and here they are, 10 o'clock as promised. They said earlier today, tell Ashley Banfield that Luigi is watching at 10 o'clock. I mean, obviously, that's just a hard roast at this point because they're not near Luigi in any way.
Can I just ask the guys if they can hear me right now to answer yes or no very loud? Does Luigi have television in his single cell?
No.
Unreal. They said no, right? Obviously, we have a little bit of a delay, but they're getting.
And that's,
They're getting the questions, and they're giving us the answers. So Luigi does not have. Wow, this is quite something. This is the strangest interview I've ever conducted.
Me too, Ashley. You know, according to the Department of Corrections, he's got his own solitary cell. It's not solitary confinement, but he's by himself. It's not dorm style. I'm not sure exactly what those guys got going on in terms of a living situation. It sounds like they're all clustered together. Isn't it interesting to see what accommodations that they have? They got their own light switches. They're obviously watching TV
They're all doing
past any sort of 10 o'clock curfew, you know. Yep, they're doing this for you. They're watching News Nation at this very moment.
There goes our hard-earned tax dollars. They control their own damn electricity over there.
So one reason we don't worry about water shortages and stuff like that here in the South is because we have these water pines. Once a water pine reaches over 5 years old, they'll start producing water every day. And all you have to do is just get you a regular store-bought tap and drill you a 1/2-inch hole in it and put the tap over the hole, and then every day you can get you about 20 gallons of water out of a water pine, and it is good fresh water. They draw it up from the earth and they store it, and so when you poke a hole in it, you'll notice that after a while the pressure will start getting lower, and that's just it's running out of water for the day. But you can get about 20 gallons a day out of a water pine. So if you have them in your yard, make sure. Now, not all pine trees are water pine. This one just happens to be. I've got several trees around that are water pines and some that are not. But if you ever run out of water or a situation where you have no power, which is then going to shut your water off.
That's pretty cool. Y'all have people in the South. Y'all got some water pines in your property? It's pretty badass. But anyways, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. I almost wasn't going to do it. Now it's 3 o'clock right now. Video's going to be live in another 3 hours, 6 o'clock. A busy day today. We had it's getting real, y'all. We had a hospital tour. We took a tour of the hospital, where we're gonna go when it's time, what rooms they're gonna put us in. Boom boom. We did our check-in, all the paperwork, we did all that, so when we go, we're good to go. It's getting real, y'all, and I'm feeling sick. I wasn't gonna do a video. I made me a bomb pork chop, some asparagus and some zero net carb tortillas with it. Got some energy. I say, you know what, I'm gonna go do my video because I got all day to relax now. Now I'm done with everything. I can just go relax. Tomorrow we'll get hiking. But anyways, y'all, if you guys made it this far, you know what to do. Leave that thumbs up, y'all. Trying to get back in the algorithm. I don't know what happened. Since the election, my channel has just gone down. I was getting 15, 20,000 views a video. And then since then, we've been getting 6,000 to 8,000. But I'm thankful nonetheless, y'all. So I appreciate everyone that's been showing love still and hanging out over here with the CaveFam. My second YouTube channel, links down below. We got a lot of reacting to do over there. There'll be a new reaction up tomorrow for you guys over there. We'll either get into that Billy Carson debate, or we'll try to find that interview of that dude that talked about Diddy and Jay-Z going to snitch on him, and they went up and everyone else went down. So one of those two, but nonetheless, we're going to get into both of those over there on the second channel, link down below. Make sure you guys go subscribe. Hey, this is Segovia. I'm gonna edit this video up. I'm gonna go kick it. I hope everyone has a good Friday, has a good weekend. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on another reaction. Signing out of the man cave. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.